The murder trial of Nicole Brown-Simpson, a 35-year-old woman, and her friend Ronald Goldman, a 25-year-old, stands as one of the most renowned criminal cases in U.S. history. The trial involved O.J. Orenthal J. Simpson, a former American soccer star who was accused of the murders, but ultimately found not guilty. Nicole Brown was O.J. Simpson's second wife, born in Frankfurt, West Germany. Her family later relocated to Garden Grove, California, in the United States. At the age of 18, Brown commenced her career as a waitress at Daisy, an exclusive club situated in Beverly Hills. It was during her tenure there that she crossed paths with Simpson, who was already married at the time. After divorcing his first wife in 1979, Simpson tied the knot with Nicole Brown in 1985. Their extravagant wedding ceremony took place at his opulent residence in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. That very year, the couple welcomed their first child, a daughter named Sydney, followed by the birth of their son, Justin, 3 years later. According to accounts from individuals close to her, Nicole was a devoted mother. She declined assistance from nannies and housekeepers, shouldering all the responsibilities for raising her children and maintaining their vast household. In addition to her family duties, Brown also managed her own interior decorating business. Nonetheless, the couple's relationship started to crumble. Simpson not only engaged in infidelity, but also subjected Nicole to verbal abuse and physical violence. Friends and family members reported witnessing bruises on Brown's body on multiple occasions. During a New Year's Eve gathering in 1989, Simpson openly made threats against Nicole's life. In 1992, after enduring years of abuse and infidelity in her marriage, Brown took the step of filing for divorce. As part of the divorce settlement, she received $433,000 and was granted $10,000 in monthly alimony, along with an expensive car and an apartment. Even after the divorce, Brown confided in her mother about her ongoing fear of Simpson's stalking behavior. She once shared, "I'm frightened. I'm driving to the gas station and he's there. I'm driving and he's following closely behind me." Tragically, in the early hours of June 13, 1994, both Brown and her friend, model Ronald Goldman, were discovered deceased near a condominium complex in Los Angeles. The couple had suffered numerous stab wounds, leading to Simpson becoming the primary suspect in the case. Instead of surrendering to the police upon learning of an impending arrest, Simpson chose to hide in the trunk of a car driven by his friend, soccer player Alan Cowling. This prompted a prolonged law enforcement pursuit that was broadcast live nationwide. The attempted escape captivated an audience of more than 95 million viewers, and hundreds of Simpson supporters took to the streets with picket signs. Eventually, Simpson was apprehended at his residence in Brentwood, California, and formally charged on July 22, 1994, to which he pleaded not guilty. Robert Kardashian, a prominent attorney in the United States and the father of Kim Kardashian, had a long-standing friendship with O.J. Simpson. Following the discovery of the deceased bodies of Ronald Goldman and Nicole Brown-Simpson, there were reports of Kardashian leaving Simpson's residence carrying a Louis Vuitton garment bag. Prosecutors raised suspicions that the bag might have contained either blood-stained clothing or the murder weapon. However, it's essential to note that these theories were never substantiated in a court of law, and the murder weapon itself was never located. The trial commenced on January 24, 1995, with the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, headed by Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden, proposing domestic violence as a potential motive for the murder. Both before and after the Simpsons divorced in 1992, law enforcement gathered substantial evidence implicating Simpson. His blood was discovered at the crime scene, while Brown and Goldman's blood and hair were found in Simpson's vehicle and residence. Additionally, one of O.J.'s gloves was located at Brown's home, and another was discovered outside his own residence. Furthermore, bloody shoe impressions found at the crime scene were determined to match shoe prints linked to Simpson. Simpson's legal defense, famously known as the Dream Team, featured attorneys such as F. Lee Bailey, Robert Blazer, Sean Chapman-Hawley, Robert Shapiro, and Alan Dershowitz. Later in the proceedings, the renowned Johnny Cochran assumed the lead role for the defense team. The core argument presented by Simpson's defense centered on the contention that the evidence from the crime scene had been misinterpreted by officers from the Los Angeles Police Department, particularly Mark Furman, a detective who claimed to have discovered a bloody leather glove at Simpson's residence. The defense team contended that the glove couldn't have belonged to Simpson because it appeared too small for his hand. Additionally, they asserted that the police may have planted other critical evidence in an attempt to frame Simpson. During the period of the murders, O.J. was dealing with rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. The defense argued that his physical condition would have rendered him unable to confront two adult men. Aside from a minor cut, Simpson exhibited no significant injuries on his body. Both the limousine driver who drove O.J. to the airport and the airport employee who obtained his autograph reported nothing unusual about Simpson's appearance. In contrast, Ronald Goldman, who possessed a black belt in karate and was in good physical shape, had a body covered in injuries, including cuts and scratches on his knuckles, implying that he had engaged in a prolonged struggle with his assailant lasting 10 to 15 minutes. The trial, spanning over 8 months, saw the testimony of approximately 150 witnesses. The public's opinion on Simpson's guilt or innocence often divided along racial lines, with most African Americans supporting his innocence, while many white Americans believed in his guilt. The trial was watched by millions of people on television. Following a mere 3 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered a verdict of acquittal for Simpson, who subsequently pledged to continue the search for the real killers. In a civil trial initiated by Nicole Brown's family in 1997, Simpson was held liable for battery against Brown during their marriage and was instructed to pay a sum of $33.5 million in damages, though he ultimately settled for only a fraction of that amount. In 2007, Simpson found himself in legal trouble once again when he was arrested for trespassing in a Las Vegas hotel room and for the theft of sports memorabilia that he claimed had been stolen from him. During the incident, Simpson took the hotel staff hostage and brandished a gun, threatening them. On October 3, 2008, he was convicted on 12 counts related to this incident, including armed robbery and hostage taking, and was sentenced to serve 33 years in prison. Simpson was eventually released on October 1, 2017.